Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Mike Lindsley. I am here at Rosie's Corner in Burton. The place is popping. It is rocking. They've got the turkey slop today. Don't forget about their upcoming Friday fish day with your mac and cheese or your coleslaw as well. You can get it in the regular entree form or in the sandwich form. They will deliver to you. You can come pick up your food. Pizza, wings, pasta, cold and hot subs, you name it. And a cooler full of awesome soft drinks as well. Here at Rosie's Corner, the official pizza shop of the ML Sports Platter. Don't forget about that ML Sports Platter package on all NFL days, Thursdays, Sundays, and Mondays, and upcoming Saturdays. You can get, basically, you spend $40, you can get a large one-topping pizza, 24 wings, large chef salad, and a 2-liter soda. That is some deal, and you can feed the masses for football days with us here at Rosie's Corner and the ML Sports Platter. Well, speaking of the NFL, this video for the next, 8 minutes or so here, 9 minutes with Mike Lindsley on IGTV, YouTube, and Facebook will be dedicated to the teams that I think right now are the most dangerous teams in the NFL. We are in that fourth stage. We're in the last leg of the season. I've always told people it's divided into fours, right? It's the first 4 games, the second 4, the third 4, and the fourth 4. And the first 4 is kind of the intro to the season, getting your feet wet, and then basically establishing yourself. The second 4, in terms of who you really are, starting to find your identity, starting to find your way. And then the third 4 is basically if you're a pretender or contender. And then the next 4 is jockeying for the position of playoffs or a division or basically your focus on the NFL draft. Wherever you might be at that particular point, you're setting yourself up for the next stage, whether that's the postseason, trying to go into a deep playoff run, or if you're preparing for the NFL draft. So we're now into the last leg of it, and you start to see what teams you just don't want to play in the postseason. And I'm starting. I've got 5 of them to discuss, my top 5. I think New England's number 1. I know that a lot of people do not want to hear that. I certainly probably don't even want to say it. But how can you deny it? They're 9-3. They had another slow start in the beginning of the year. Now they're starting to roll. They've been beating a plethora of good teams recently. I don't know. I know KC's really good. Mahomes might be the MVP of the league. The offense is just constantly at you, but they can't stop anybody. And do you trust Andy Reid in January? The only shot I give the KC Chiefs getting to the Super Bowl, they got to get the home field advantage. They're only 1 game better than New England right now. Frankly, they're only 1 game better than the Chargers in their own division. I would not want to play New England. I really wouldn't, because Brady, Belichick, they're tested. The offense is just moving the ball at will. Josh Gordon is having the season that he should have had basically repeatedly if he had stayed on the field. The defense with a bunch of no-names looks like, one of the best defenses Belichick has had in the last 5-10 years. I mean, these guys, Brady and Belichick, are just insanely unbelievable, unbelievably good. And when you take a look at New England, they can win. They can travel. They can win on the road. They've got defense. They've got a ground game in Sony Michel, and they've got Brady and Belichick at the top of the list, which is the most important. That team I would not want anything to do with in the playoffs. No, it might not be as good a Patriot team, the one that went undefeated, or last year's team that went to the Super Bowl. It might not be as good as those teams. It doesn't matter. It might not be as good as the other 6 teams that went to the Super Bowl for Bill Belichick. Doesn't matter. Right now, they are extremely difficult to play, and I wouldn't want anything to do with them in the postseason. My second most dangerous team to, right now, I think I would probably stay in the AFC. And I would give you the LA Chargers. This is a team that I think from the beginning of the year till now, they played in all phases of the game, but they've proved the continuity of it. They've proved that they can beat you a plethora of different ways. They can run the ball. They can take the ball away. Phillip Rivers on the play action, terrific. Keenan Allen, major playmaker. The coaching has been fairly suspect the last couple of weeks. That's another area where I really worry about an Anthony Lynn in January, much like I worry about Andy Reid. But Andy Reid has he has the proof in the pudding that he hasn't been able to succeed in January, mismanages the game, burns timeouts too soon, etc. So that would be something to look at in terms of game management. The playoffs are a completely different animal. But right now, the Chargers are dangerous. Joey Bosa's back. They've got major pass rushers. Ingram's a monster. Melvin Gordon can run the football all over the place. They can control the line of scrimmage in terms of setting up play action and all the rest. And Rivers is an MVP candidate. So I would not want to play them. That's number 2. Number 3, staying in Los Angeles, I'm going to go to the LA Rams. I wouldn't want to play those guys because like Kansas City and like a lot of other systems in the NFL and college football right now, that team just does not let up. I mean, it's unbelievable how many weapons they have. Everywhere you look, they've got Brandon Cooks, they got Robert Woods, they got Todd Gurley, they've got Jared Goff, etc. They have so many weapons. They just keep coming at you and at you and at you. That's the number one reason why I wouldn't want to play them, is because you can't take a breath anywhere. Not that in the playoffs you take a breath on any play, because every single play, every single snap, every penalty, everything matters. It's so magnified in the postseason. But for Christ's sake, I would not want to play the LA Rams. They just keep coming at you like an offensive locomotive. The 4th team I would say is the New Orleans Saints, based upon the fact if they get home field advantage. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to win the NFC South. The question becomes, is it going to be the Rams or is it going to be the Saints in terms of that home field advantage in the NFC? I think that's going to be the main player for who goes to the Super Bowl. I think whoever gets home field advantage between those two teams will go to the Super Bowl in Atlanta. And don't forget, with New Orleans, they've already beaten the LA Rams this year, so they have the tiebreaker there. My 4th most dangerous team in the NFL playoff hunt, I'm going to give you the Seattle Seahawks. I think they're playing unbelievable football right now. I would not want to play them in the postseason. I wouldn't want to play them now. I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs. They've got some of that championship mojo coming back. Russell Wilson threw 4 touchdowns against the Niners over this past weekend. He's making all the right decisions, and they're just a consistently good team. And again, a team like the Chargers, they can beat you in a bunch of different ways. They're a well-rounded bunch right now, and that whole stuff, all that stuff that came out about the players not being able to listen to Pete Carroll's message in the locker room, how's that working out for you now? Pete Carroll and the Seahawks are rolling, and they have a chance to make the playoffs. The 5th team, it's really hard right now to separate one from maybe the other 3, 4, 5 teams. I could take the Cowboys. I could take the Texans. I could take the Eagles. I could take, somebody else. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens, and here's why. They're able to run the football in a passing league, and they're one of the best defenses in the NFL. Year in, year out, it doesn't matter who is in the uniforms. It doesn't matter what the name on the back of the jersey says. Baltimore brings it every single game. And with Lamar Jackson in there, they've got that new sort of injection of youth and a different belief in the offense in terms of moving the football. John Harbaugh has probably been bought another year no matter what happens this year. I don't like Lamar Jackson long-term because I don't want a guy who thinks with his legs before the pocket and his arm. I'm okay with guys running around within the pocket and outside to extend plays and all the rest. But when you go back and quick check down or two and then you just take off, when you have some pressure, you're just inviting injury in that situation. However, Baltimore right now is a team that's playing with a ton of confidence, and that would be the 5th team that I wouldn't want to play in the playoffs. So, I'd go Patriots, I'd go Chargers, I'd go Rams, and then I'd go Seahawks and Ravens for the teams right now I would not want to play in the National Football League in the postseason. Thanks for watching 9 Minutes with Mike Lindsley, IGTV, YouTube, and Facebook. You can get me on Twitter at Mike L Sports, and don't forget, all the Thursdays, all the Sundays, all the Mondays, and all the upcoming Saturdays of NFL football, make sure you get Rosie's Corner. Pizza, wings, pasta, salads, cold and hot subs, you name it. The ML Sports Platter package. $40 spent gets you a large chef salad, 2-liter soda, 24 wings, and a large one-topping pizza. Unbelievable deal here at Rosie's. Jody and Jason and the gang doing an unbelievable job. The official pizza shop of the ML Sports Platter. So, as I always tell you, enjoy the games.